looking for a face-to-face reading. So if you are new to this channel, my name is Shannon. Glad to have you. My channel is very intense at times, and sometimes the spirit gets upon me. It's always for uprightness, and we do some spiritual warfare on this channel. I'm not churchy or religious or anything, but I'm sure going to come across that way because I do use living language and scripture on my channel because I know who the Holy One is, my Elohim, and his name is Jehovah, and I show you what his name looks like down in the tarot in a video below in the description box if you want to check that out. But anyway, I love Jehovah. I'm not ashamed of him. He is my Yeshua, which is salvation, and so he prophesies mightily here. We just get back and let him say what he wants to say because his eyes go to and fro in the earth and he sees all of our hearts at the core. And if we don't guard that thing, we're told that issues will flow out of it. And so my channel uproots some nasty stuff like that so that we can have an earth, people, that has worth. And so to uproot things right out of the deepest root that we can, from weeds, it's vital right now that we do that. And so let me just touch something today. On my first channel, I think I'm going to do a reading. You just never know. I don't put the spirit in the box. Those of you who are returning, welcome back, guys. I want to talk about the Tower of Babel real quick because as I was getting dressed this morning, it began to run through my spirit. I went back and watched a movie the other night about the Tower of Babel. It was about Babylon itself and Daniel. King Nebuchadnezzar had a dream about different kingdoms coming. And anyway, we can also read about the Tower of Babel in the book of Jasher and things like that. And it goes back to pride. We know that people are very prideful and stiff-hearted and things like that that are related to tower-like energies, or that energy is related there. And so when the tower comes out, it can be related to in a reading as people are dealing with prideful things and paradigm shifts and being humbled and all that kind of stuff. The tower, actually, if you go look in the Greek language, can take you, because it is internet stuff, it's kingdom stuff, it's a tower, right? It can take you back to preachers and evangelists. And so it's also compared to Jehovah stating to us that he is a strong tower and the righteous will run into it and be safe. But there's a fine line there. It's about being humble, and when we're humble, we're lifted up. And if you lift yourself up, then you come down, you're humbled. And so in the kingdom, things have paradigm shifts, and that's also one of the meanings of the tower. If you go back and read in the book of Jasher about King Nimrod, when the Tower of Babel was being built, they stated like 3 days was what the base of that thing took to walk around it for the foundation. They got so far up in building that tower because they were going to build it to go up and shoot their arrows at God, take God down. Because people so prideful in their own mind, they think that they can get up there and bypass the heavens. And Jehovah says, I laugh at my enemies every single day. And it stated that he came down to see what they were doing, and they were building this tower to do that. If you go read that story, pride really does kill. It kills your heart. It kills people that are around prideful people. You will, I'm sure, testify to the fact that when a prideful person is around you, it's a gross behavior. We read there in that story that when they're making the bricks and stuff like that, that if a person ended up dying in the process of building the tower, they didn't give a rip about that. I want to say they just pushed him off over into the, I think it says it, something about when a person died, they didn't care, but when a brick fell over, oh my God, they sat and cried over it. That's crazy energy where pride can be related to. the story of Nebuchadnezzar when he went out upon his kingdom and stated, "Look at all that I did. I built this thing." And he had had a dream, and Daniel came in, and which was the prophet, and prophesied to him and interpreted his dream, and told him that the dream that he had was him, that big tree that he seen in that dream where all the birds of the air were flocking up in the branches and stuff were going to get cut down because it was representing pride. And he forgot about that dream, and he went out and he began to in his eyes and say with his mouth how much he built his kingdom up, and look what I did. And there's nothing that you and I do outside of what Jehovah allows us to do, because he can build up and cast down. He kills and makes alive. And if you and I don't keep that at the forefront of our mind and guard our heart, thinking that, oh, look what I did, then you become like an animalistic person. Because that's exactly what happened to King Nebuchadnezzar. And he got struck down. And for 7 years, the Bible states that he acted like an animal and grazed like an ox or a cow or whatever it was, like an animal, whatever the animal was. It was an animalistic state that got him to that place because of pride and ego, and look what I did. And people crying over bricks rather than people's lives that were putting in their hard work for this tower that they were all trying to build. Something's wrong when pride is around people. Something's wrong. And if you are not humbled by the great one's true tower and run into that, you are not safe. You are not safe. You will fall from it every single time, and you will be a disgrace, and you will have that animalistic zoo-like energy around you. So all you IT workers, and I've talked about how energy flows and manifests, and especially the day that we live in can also be related back to the book of Revelation, and talking about how Babylon is fallen, at last it's fallen. So we got all this tower energy, it's here. We are in the last kingdom of the statue that King Nebuchadnezzar seen in his initial dream, where the feet, which I've gotten on talked about before, was a mixture of the iron and the clay that could not mix, and there's been division. That's why we've seen so much war going on, is because the people can't mix, because there's a division. We are in the last part where the rock of heaven comes down and fills the whole earth, and Jehovah's kingdom that will never end is being set up. And there's so much to pride that destroys, and so many people are fixing to have such, and the tower goes to a wake-up call, and there's so much fixing to take place. It's fixing to just stomp on the feet. And the feet in the very beginning of Genesis goes back to where the snake was, where the snake bit the foot, and the woman could with her heel hit the snake. And that whole thing is fixing to just shatter. And a new mountain of Jehovah's kingdom is coming in this realm, and the kingdoms of this world, not Nebuchadnezzar's world, not Nimrod's world, but the Holy One who rules and reigns in the heaven and the earth, in which he created, is setting his kingdom up, which will have no end. It's coming down to crush the division. So you choose who you are by your humility, in whom you are humbled to. We got literal people setting and watching people like me, and I'm just a one person out of I don't even know how many, that has sat here for 3 years and said how I needed help, that people were hunting me like animals because they had pride. They had the animalistic state. It's connected to the tower type energy. These are the people that get on the technology, and they're doing stuff, and they got animalistic states of mind because of lack of knowledge. That energy is flowing in any way that it can be connected to the root of that thing. And people sit here and listen to people's story, and they're just gawky. I told couple of years ago when this stuff started, I was in my apartment and Jehovah had been talking to my spirit as I looked before him, and he told me not to discard any type of phonics and everything else when he was teaching me how spirit actually worked, how a root of something, or a root of something, a tree, which I just went back and related to Nebuchadnezzar's tree that was pride. So you either are rooted in evilness or rooted in righteousness. But I told how I was in my apartment one day and my mouth just opened and a song just began to come out of me, and I don't even know the words of it. It just as if the spirit just sprung up in me and it began to sing, that the whole world went crazy. And they have. We got freaks that know better, that are trying to go over here and clean something up because they did something over here because of pride, and so in their animalistic, they go, oh my God, or I'm going to chase you down the road and I'm going to eat you up and hunt you and hang you on a tree because I'm prideful and I went cuckoo because of it and now I'm an animal. It's time to wake up now. It's time to give all praise, glory, and honor to the one who it belongs to, because that's exactly, if you go back and watch that movie, and what it states is when he finally came to himself, he says, there is no one but you. There is no kingdom outside of your kingdom. Because this video cut off reason, so I will actually put, and you can just catch the rest of it. It's just, just had a couple more minutes to go on it. Don't know why it got redirected that way, and it's just the way that I am recording. It's just easier for you, I guess, to just go down. I'll make sure that it is, give me a few minutes to go back on my other channel. It may actually already be down in the description, but if not, just give me a few minutes. Eventually it will be there. You can click on it and then just go where I left off on the video and check it out there. I apologize, but it is actually uploading to this channel as well as an original, but I did upload it on another channel, and thought I would just do it as live here to catch as many people that would watch it to get the revelation of what Jehovah was telling me about pride. So anyway, check it out down below. And until next time, I'll see you next time on a reading. Shalom.